Wow, what is going on for Ethereum right now? Something very interesting showing up on the charts, guys. We took a look at this yesterday. Let's see what's going on. Jumping into the 4-hour Ethereum US dollar chart. You can see, guys, we were in rising corridor pattern. We dropped down towards the downside into this nice buy zone here, which we knew was going to be a good buy zone and good support if we were dropping into this area. As well as that, we got our kind of like support line offering us some great support down at the levels of around $1,300. But we can see, guys, something interesting has been playing out today. We initially got rejected in this sell zone or supply zone up here. As well as that, it's coming into play with this kind of upper line of resistance. When we get doubling up of supply zones as well as resistance lines, then it's often a very strong buy. And on the flip side, when we get support lines coming in to these demand zones, then also we're looking at a buy. But something interesting showing to me here, guys, we have a lot of wicks towards the downside, which is showing there is bullish pressure coming into the chart. So we're going to have to zoom in, jumping into a 15-minute chart. So bearing in mind, obviously, when you watch this, something's probably more than likely going to have played out. We can see something interesting as well, because like I talked about often, guys, these supply and demand zones, you can see this clearly is a supply zone, and this is on the 15-minute time frame, so it's not necessarily that significant compared to other ones. We've at the top got our demand zones. So you can see we had a consolidation in this area. We then had an aggressive move out of it. This candle here shows me that this here was our demand zone, which told me again that once we were revisiting this area that we were likely going to see a further push up. And you can see again, wow, an absolutely savage move towards the upside. This one in just 30 minutes of around 4.5%. That's crazy, guys, if you think about the size of the market cap and the money that's going into it. And every time we're wicking down into this zone, we're getting bought up really, really aggressively. And yeah, you're probably looking at this wick up here saying that maybe it's the same for both sides. But what is really happening in terms of the closes of these candles, showing to me right now that actually, although many people would be thinking that we will be dropping down lower, what we're seeming to form some sort of a rising wedge. If we discount the kind of wicks, etc., that are on the outside of this, we're seeing that actually the close of these candles are getting higher and higher and higher, showing that there's more bullish pressure coming in at higher levels than there was previously. And this for me is showing that what we're seeing right now is a consolidation like this. And if we're able to see a bounce here and a push, which, guys, is more than likely to happen in the next kind of hour, perhaps even 2 hours, that we would be seeing a push of something like this. Now, don't get too excited about this. I know you're not going to be. From current prices, that would be a push of what, like 4.5%. Not very big a deal, obviously, guys. Jumping out to the 1-hour chart, guys, you can see that $1,700 sits up here, and that's significant because this resistance line through here is sat just below that, which would indicate to me that if we were able to break up and push out, that we then could see ourselves heading to the next level on the chart for Ethereum, which realistically would be up towards this zone here. Now, I have mentioned previously that we are likely to see a fake out, a consolidation in the zone before pushing back down to retest this level here. But in my opinion, what we've just seen in terms of the phases and the bullish sentiment that's starting to settle into the market, as well as the announcement from the Fed yesterday not being that terrible with regards to interest rates, showing that there is perhaps a little less worry than there was going to be, that actually Ethereum is going to be having a little bit more bullish action for the next few days, where we will be pushing up towards the sort of $1,800 level. The amount of people who are starting to take interest in crypto again. Yeah, it's been a bit boring and a lot of sideways action, and when the price is down here, it shows that there's not that many people in the markets. What I really think is going to be pushing up somewhere into this zone. I know that this is clearly a zone of interest because of this up here. We're going to see some sort of a drop into this area, another double bottom pattern, something like this playing out. And then we're going to start a sort of into the bull cycle, end of this kind of boring consolidation down at the bottom. But things are looking much more positive for the Ethereum price, perhaps a lot more positive than they have been more recently. Very interesting to see what's playing out, guys. And what I've been talking about for the last few days, guys, is actually starting to play out right now. Right now, literally in the next kind of period of time, because we're about 50% of the way through, usually by about the 75% of the way through, which is kind of heading into later on today. I think we're going to have to see whether we're either going to be able to break through the top of this, or we're going to take a rejection. If we're taking a rejection at this level, then we're towards the sort of $1,300 level. But I think right now, the way that we're seeing these wicks towards the downside, it's got me very keen on Ethereum showing some good strength, and it's showing significant strength compared to Bitcoin, all the other cryptos. It's moving much more aggressively than the other ones have been. So in the shorter term, guys, a break beyond 1650 and beyond that is going to see us heading in a bullish direction up towards $1,800 or more, and a drop significantly below sort of $1,620, I think is going to see us capitulate further and see basically a turnaround in the market happening a little bit sooner. I still think we're going to have a push towards the upside, then the downside, then we're going to see the rest of the crypto market start to gain bullish momentum again, but not for the next kind of month or so. I still think it's going to be a bit boring. I think it's getting a bit more exciting. I still think there's going to be opportunities to buy at lower levels, but I do think that we're going to see a little bit of a push higher. So if you were asking me questions yesterday about what was happening, I think we're going to see a push towards $1,800, a drop down towards the sort of $1,200, perhaps even $1,000. Difficult to tell until we start to see a fall, and then kind of into the bull cycle of the crypto markets. Things looking much more exciting. The news starting to look more positive. The dollar index starting to look a little bit shady, like it's overbought and looks like it needs a cool off. Lots of things are pointing in the direction of crypto maybe getting out of this boring crypto winter that we've been in for a little bit of time now, guys. Hope you enjoyed that quick Ethereum update today. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with the latest happening in Ethereum. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you soon.